Okay. All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this morning with a short message here. I'm not going to be with you long, being so I got so many things that I have to take care of. Last time I was live or on YouTube, I was speaking about many things, but you haven't seen me for a minute. In just a minute, I'm just using the word minute, but a few days. Uh, I last time I spoke to you all, I explained to you all I woke up at 2:30 and I was awakened by my daughter crying out to me, my youngest daughter, saying, "Mama, I need you." That's all I heard, and then it was mumble jumble, and I kept saying, "I can't hardly hear you. You got to talk. I can't hear you. I can't understand what you're saying, China, China." And at that moment, I got up. It was 2:30 in the morning. Now, it bothered me because it was unusual, you guys. It was something that was unusual because I, Sister Deborah, know about visions. I know about dreams. But this here was not a vision. This here was not a dream. This seemed so real. Okay? It reminded me of when my son, Charles Jr., when he had to have a procedure, but it wasn't him. I kept having this picture of them sticking a needle in my back and how the pressure, and I was so afraid. And I saw that about 3 times. Come to find out, it was 6 months later, it was Charles Jr., who was like 3 years old at the time. The way the Most High rumbles, the way He does things is a way you really not going to know His way. You really not. That's what it reminded me of, hearing my daughter cry out to me, and then I couldn't understand what she was saying. I knew it was her. It sounded like her, and I couldn't understand what she was saying. It was a few days ago, the last time you saw me on YouTube. And I was explaining to you, I woke up at 2, not 2:20 in the morning. And because of that, and I stayed up, I got me some coffee, and I was trying to piece the pieces together. I went to call her. She wouldn't answer her phone. Then I wanted to go over to where she was at. It was just so many things. But guess what I was waiting on, y'all? I was waiting for that connection to the Ruach. That connection to the Ruach is what I move on, y'all. I move on. Even though I had this unusual, it wasn't a vision, it wasn't a dream, but it woke me up like it was reality, like it was really true. But I went to call my daughter several times. And I said, she's supposed to be getting up to go to work at 6, so let me call again. I couldn't get in contact with her. So I wanted to go, but I was waiting for that ruach. See, the spirit of the Most High has this turn in you. He will turn you upside down from the inside to give you a feel that if you are going to be in a sorrow or it's okay. I'm waiting for that sorrow and I didn't receive it. So I'm like, okay, so maybe it's just me, but I saw it. I saw it. Guess who it was, you guys? It was her father. He called and said, I need you to take me to the hospital. But that's not how he said it. He couldn't speak. But when he couldn't speak, instant, I knew something was wrong, and I got up and I went heading over there where he was, and he had another stroke. He had another stroke. My son helped me put him in the car, and I took him to that same hospital. And at that hospital, they said the first stroke was called a bleeding stroke. This here stroke was different. This stroke put a a twist in his mouth, and he couldn't speak. You see, you couldn't hear very much of what he was saying. Just like that vision, it wasn't a vision. I can't even call it. It wasn't a dream because I know about those. It was something that was reaching to me and calling out for me, but it was my daughter's father. So I did get him to the hospital, to emergency, and found out he had a different kind of stroke. It wasn't the same stroke. They saw it. They say that it was on the same side, but in another location. And this one was worse because it took his uh, side of his face, where he, it was, you can see that his mouth was twisted and he couldn't talk. So it was a different kind of stroke. While being there in the hospital and having to deal with them all over again, I realized, you guys, that there is a lot of, that's where I've been, trying to keep up with everything that has to do with him. That's what I do. But what had happened is it has been a lot of different things going on that is detached to that, and the feel that I have regarding all of that is just so, it's just not normal, you guys. Now, I remember showing you all a picture of him on my wall when I was getting ready to go live, and I looked to my right, and there was a picture of a shadow of his whole profile. And everybody I show it to, they said, but they automatically tell me who it is. They know that it looks just like him. And I kept that on my phone. But even when he saw it, he said, that looks like me. I said, yeah, but that was the first time you had a stroke. When I came home that first day, this is what was in my room, on the wall, on my left. But what I'm here today to talk about is the realness of warning. And it's a sad thing about a warning today. What's sad about it? It's because the mindset of people connected to their spiritual mindset is so dangerous, you guys, to where you really don't need to connect yourself with those type of people who's dealing with not just a mind of the spirit out of whack, but the mind of the flesh out of whack, like unto their spirit. You have to be careful, especially if you've been dealing with people for some time now. You have to be careful in how you deal with them. I decided yesterday to just cut them off. That's it. There's no more second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time. Because you guys, I've been putting a lot of things before the Father, trying to make sense of why and who could even want a world to exist at the level of where it's at. Now, I'm coming from the standpoint of human flesh, but one that knows that I know that the spirit of the Most High lives in me, but it don't keep me from being just one. I'm both. So I've been dealing with the fact that there are things, just like the Father says, that's happening, Deborah. Even when you step into to try to fix it, it's not going to be fixed. It cannot change. But what I'm running into is the long suffering and the endurance of knowing that even warning people ain't gonna help them. Wow. Did I say that? Oh, yes. Because if you connect Noah's warning to all the world back in that time, and him warning them all those years, and they never stepped up to the ark. See, the Father is right now, even as I'm talking to you, Noah wasn't a part of my message, but he's allowing me to connect the fact that Noah had put out the greatest warning. But Deborah, how many pulled up? It wasn't that his sons and their wives and his wife pulled up. They were just following him as a man of Yah and going in because of what he was doing. You see? But Noah was speaking to the whole world. We're going to consider the whole world back then. No one ever was able to teach it, preach it, break it down. Why wasn't one person? At least one father. I'm just teasing with you all. I'm just showing you the level of what my topic is. The realness of a warning, y'all, is worthless. And I think of something else. I think about when I say a brick wall. That thing is realer than real. You can't warn no one in this day and time. Mentally and spiritually, it's not there. And I'm like saying, but that's where I'm at, y'all. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm going to remain. Let me tell y'all why. So my thing was, wait a minute, hold up. Father, this thing is deeper than deep. Yes, Deborah. Meaning, I can't even touch where it's at. That's how powerful the darkness we are in this day and time. See, I had a lot of respect for the idea of it saying it's worse than any time that ever exists on the face of the earth. Right then, that should have been the quote across the whole YouTube, across every religion, across every denomination, and everything on the face of the earth. That should have been the main topic. We are in a day like no other ever exists on the face of the earth. But I think I'm the only one speaking like that. Yeah, people are telling you what they can see, that they can speak on, to get you to like and to subscribe you. I don't give a rat's behind if you come on this page or not, because I am at that level and I ain't going to no other level. This thing is real. This darkness, this midnight hour, this day like no other is realer than real, but it's higher than I ever thought. I went to the hospital yesterday to see my ex-husband. And we're sitting there, and he said to me, "Do you remember what you said?" And I had at first, I kind of felt sad within me because I should have been on that. I'm the type of person, when I say something, I always remember what I said. But when he said it to me, instant, a flash. And it took me all the way back to what the Father has told me. I'm going to always warn you. I'm going to always let you know ahead. What my ex-husband said to me, he said, "You remember what you said?" And I'm like, what do you mean? I said a lot. 6 months ago, him and I was in the store. And all I could see around only his head was a dark gray poof cloud around his whole head. And I said, "Charles." He said, "Yeah." I said, "There's a cloud of darkness around your head." And I kept wiping my eyes, and I kept seeing it, and I kept seeing it. I said, "Wow." He says, "It's still there?" I said, "Yes, I can see it." A dark cloud around his head. It was, and when we came out the store, I think he got to the house, he said, "I'm just curious to you saying that dark cloud was around my head. Do you see it still?" I said, "Yeah, it's still around your head." Y'all, I was more so second guessing what I was seeing. That's what I want to talk to y'all about. Sister Deborah is not going to be in that mood or in that space y'all once knew her. I'm not going to be in that place where I can play patty cake, bake, oh man. I'm cutting it off. I don't have to deal with nobody. I don't have to deal with nobody. I know where I'm at. I know where I've been. I got to get my flesh back to the spirit of who I am. So I'm still looking at he was sitting in his kitchen. He said, do you still see the cloud? I said, yeah, it's still around your head. It was, y'all, it was gray, like a cloud around his head. I remember weeks passed, and that man came to me, and he said, I wonder what that meant. And this is a man who known me for 35 years. He said, I wonder what that meant. I said, what? What are you talking about? You remember you told me it was a dark cloud around my head? I wonder what that meant. It bothered him, you guys. It bothered him that white cloud, that gray cloud was around his head, and I had told him. You know why? That man knows when I speak, there is authority and power behind those words. Even if, no matter what it is, there's power and authority behind it. And this is what got me yesterday. So this was like, when I told him that, was like 6 months. 2 weeks from that 6 months, he asked me again about the cloud. Remember you told me that cloud was around? I wonder what that was about. It was bothering him already. Why? Because he knows when this lady speaks, I've been knowing her all these years. She had my children. When she say something, it ain't no play behind nothing she say. And he knows it. I'm strictly non-tolerant, y'all. I don't care where I'm at. So here it is. He said it 2 weeks after back then 6 months. It was like 2 weeks later. He said, and I was like, I wonder why he worried about it. I wasn't worried about it, but I remember receiving it, not receiving it, seeing it. He said to me in the hospital yesterday, he said, do you remember? I said, what? He said, Deborah, remember the gray cloud around my head? I said, ain't that nothing? What that tells me, get back where you belong. That's what it tells me. Get back where you belong, where you have been called, where you have been ordained, you've been predestined. Get back where my power have sent you down here to be. Because if this man knows that I said it 6 months ago, then he questioned it 2 weeks after the 6 months, and then here it is 6 months later, he in the hospital a second time. And it all has to do with the strokes, 2 in his head. So what he's saying, yesterday he said, Deborah, don't you remember it? I guess he's so used to me bringing the confirmation back when it happened. But that just shows me that you out of the spiritual order. Get back. That's what it's telling me. Don't get caught up on with people on this YouTube. Don't play with these people on this YouTube. Don't bring yourself down to the lowest degree and the lowest level as they are, because they can take you there. They can bring you down as low can be. Stay where I called you. I appointed you. I anointed you. I predestined you. Get back in order, because if it takes him to tell me yesterday about something I said to him 6 months, I'm off course. Because the first time he had the stroke, that should have connected. Wait a minute. Here the head. Here it is. This is the clouds you saw 6 months ago. And that's how sharp I used to be. I can bring it into a oneness. What I see in vision, what I see in dreams, I can bring it up to the oneness. Let me give you another example. My oldest sister, it was one day, her and I was together, and it was, we were all together, I think my sister and my mother. And I was telling Reed, my sister, that I saw her son get shot and killed. Year later, exactly the way I broke it down to her, which I did, he gets shot and killed. My sister told everybody at the hospital where they pronounced him dead, I want my sister. And that was me. I was the only one that wasn't there. When I got there, no, I didn't get there. My mom said, my sister said she wants me there. Once she said that, I shot out there. I wasn't waiting for a beating. And her beating to me wasn't a beating to hurt me. She just took her fist. She's real strong. And she was like hammering into my shoulder, not out of hurt, but out of you told me. You told me. And I looked her in her eyes and said, Ray, I'm not created to say I told you so. She said, but you told me. You told me. You see, so what I'm saying to you all, where I'm at today is somewhere I'm lacking. I'm lacking in the calling and the purpose in which he has called me and prepared me for a day as this. Y'all want to run around here and play and act like a fool? You go right ahead. You need to get off this page with it, because I'm going to check any and everything. I'm going to speak boldness on you and up and down you. Because here this man telling me in the hospital something I know I seen 6 months ago, but he had to bring it up for me to remember to bring the confirmation and what I saw in that vision into a oneness. He shouldn't have to do that, y'all. He shouldn't have to do that. When I was gifted this thing, when I was a little girl, what's going on with you now where you're not able to connect 1 and 2 together? It's where I'm at. It's so much is going on. Now, the warning, the realness of the warning today is realer than real. When I'm going to tell y'all something, it's not your real. Just imagine the realness from the kingdom is where y'all messed up from the floor. Because there is a realness from the kingdom level that don't have to measure your earthly level. And it's not going to. Where the mindsets of people are at is exactly where I know that it is. But what I have to do is don't bring myself to that level where they're at. Cut off any and everything. Because I know for the last couple of days, I was asking the Father, why is it that nobody even answered to you? Nobody. So it's in a sense, if they don't answer to him, don't look for them to be anything righteous to you. So I was going to come on a couple of days ago and preach this message, and I thought, I'm going to leave this up in the hands of the Father. And when I left it to the Father, something changed, but if it still was the same level and the same question I asked him about, why is it's like this? Guess what I realized? And I did. I said to the Father this morning, it ain't even no sense of warning nobody. Because the level of spiritual minded and fleshly minded people who are, now everybody have a spirit now. So don't think I'm talking about holy people or the light, the people with the light. I'm speaking of people that can be in your midst. You can be communicating with, you can be dealing with. It can be in your midst. It can be in your family. It can be in your community. It can be in your neighborhood. It can be all around you and you ain't even know that it's set there to be darkness. And you just assuming it that it's light. You just assume it's okay. No, it's not. Get yourself away. That's my warning. Away from it. Because what I learned, y'all, this morning is when I buckled up on y'all. I buckled up on the Most High y'all this morning. I said, wait a minute. Is this true? Is it going on? This real? He didn't answer. The reason why he didn't answer, he knew I knew already. It's realer than real. This midnight hour, this time that was sworn to Sister Deborah, that is worse than any time existed on the earth. So therefore, I have to pour my spirit and my flesh mindset to the worst of the worst. Don't pull it to what they talking about, what they say, and what they do. Pull it to the worst of the worst. Stop putting it to the good, to the good, to the good, to the good. Stop pulling it to a degree, Deborah, that I myself know that it'll never reach. So is that bad? Yes, it is. It is so bad, y'all. It ain't even worth giving nobody no warning. It ain't even worth giving no one no warning. Or thinking that you can reason with people. Or you can commune with people. You can get people to do anything. anything that might be righteous. Hang it up. You don't understand where you at. I got my phone this morning and looked at that. I said, oh no, oh no. First person I turned to was the Father. I said, no, you didn't, Father. Father, did you? Father, no, Father, yeah. No, Father, yeah, Father, yeah, not Father, Father, yeah, I'm surely not Father, yeah. No, Father, yeah. Yes, Deborah. Yes, Deborah. Just because they didn't preach it, they didn't teach it, just because they still right today thinking it's playtime, it's party hardy time. Father, Father, but you allowed this, you suffered this to me. Yes, Deborah. Yes, Deborah. Yes, Deborah. So when I first got on here just now, I realized he put in Noah. He said, now, in spite of Noah's situation, did anybody come up to the ark? Did one come up and pull up? All the little hints are right there for me. All the little tokens to help me long suffer and endure with him greater in me is right there before me. And he said, stop coming to the level of this flesh on this earth, because that's where they're going to get you. Stay at the level of the spirit that's in you. Stay at that level. Y'all, when I buckled up on the Father this morning, I said, okay, so this was back in 2009. I said, but Father, Father, Father. Oh, man, it's bad. Yes, it is, y'all. I'm not going to waste my time constantly teaching, warning, and telling y'all what's going on, because if you don't see it, it ain't meant for you to see it. It's meant for you to stay out there on the opposite side of where the ark is located, in case y'all didn't know. You didn't know it, did you? See, a lot of things people didn't rap with the day of Noah. No one wants to rap in that day. There was a great day. The day of Noah was a great day. Like unto this, being worse than the day of Noah. Oh, Father, yeah, you going there? Yes. So if this day is worse than the days of Noah, just imagine the thing that says every imagination and thought of a man was wicked and evil. How can it get worse than that, Father? Deborah, I learned it this morning. Oh, yes, it has. Because what they were doing back in the days of Noah, that was a different level of evil and darkness that had the minds continue doing wicked and evil. He wanted me to know this morning, baby. Now you here. You're not, like you say, you're not dead. You living. You know what you see. You know what you just heard is real, baby. The warning is real. And I'm like, do y'all understand? You know how they talk about Enoch, the fallen angels, and all of this stuff. Do y'all understand it's worse than any fallen angels? Do y'all know? Do y'all understand? To give you all a warning about fallen angels wouldn't help you, because in that day, like no other day ever been on the face of the earth, is where you at now. Fallen angels can't touch this, or they partaker not so much as fallen angels, but the principality in high places is what we war against. They're on the earth now. And I think about, and that's why I say it's no more playing with you all. I think about all that time I was sitting here saying, wait a minute, and the principality in high places now on the earth. And I'm like sitting here saying, but Deborah, didn't you teach that? Didn't you speak it? How is you teaching them and not having the fullness of knowing it? It's real. But Father, I didn't know darkness could be that dark. I didn't know darkness can be that dark. I didn't think there was a such thing that darkness could be that dark. But if I said that it's going to be like the days of Noah, but it's going to be worse than any day that ever exists on the earth, what are you all looking for then, Deborah? I said, oh, Father, yeah. So you know what he told me? I'm going to sum it up with what he told me. But I got to take you to where I'm going. So I began to say to the Father, How could you have allowed something like this? I was buckling, y'all. I was buckling. How could you have allowed this to get to this level, something like this? You had to have known before the foundation of the world. He knew it all. You remember how many times Sister Deborah told y'all it was finished and that it's over, that he's not sending another one to make the crooked straight? Woo! If you know where we at, you'll understand why he ain't gonna make nothing straight. That he ain't residing in to make it straight himself. I'm like, but Father, wait a minute, hold up, Father. Hold up. Y'all, this took me way under. This morning it took me way under. Now it's been taking me in the last 2 days. And this is the reason why things just don't make sense to me. None of it makes sense to me, y'all. And I'm human just like you all are. So I get an opportunity to talk to you like you're human, but still telling you the spiritual side. I cannot understand the mindsets of people. Is that dark? The darkness is so dark to warning can't help it. But didn't it say it's worse than any day that ever exists on creation of this earth? Did not that one warning come to us? Yeah. Well, that's what the Father was referring me back to. He said, I just want to let you know. You bringing it to me. And I'm going to let you know. I thought about me telling my ex-husband about the cloud around his head. Me hearing my daughter crying out, but I couldn't understand her. It was her father. Y'all, he took me to everything that I've said to show me how 100 the words were. But it's not to change how deep the darkness is. Somewhere in me have to grip that. Because this morning, after I seen the clip, I say, now, ain't nothing hidden, dear Father. Nothing was never hidden. Nothing was in the dark where you couldn't see it. How could they have done these things? How could you have created humans and human does things like this? How could you not have known before the foundation of the world that this is what you created? And this is how horrible they were in your eyesight in the kingdom. And this is how horrible they are. How could darkness not be a warning to anyone? How is it that the darkness can have that level of power and take everything out of the order of your creation and you say not a word? You do not nothing. How could y'all, the darkness is eating alive? No wonder, no matter what you say on this devil platform, it still don't shine light on these mindsets of these flesh. It still does not give people any type of head up or warning. This is, I thought that this answered all the things I have ever said on the devil platform. It answers everything, even from the idea when I say donate or give an offering. When y'all, I don't give a rat's behind about what you give in your offering, because if that's that type of demonic, evil darkness behind that mess, keep it. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't desire it. I don't need it. From what I saw this morning, I had to buckle up on the Father, and he had to buckle my tail down. Because I'm like, but you knew it before the foundation of the world. And I'm like, so I'm telling these people what I felt you were telling me, which I knew you was telling me. Principality hit the earth. Yeah. They ain't paying no attention to it. They can give a rat's behind. Because people think they God. They think they their own God. And I'm sitting here looking at this stuff, and I'm like, so all this time, what I'm seeing What I'm knowing today, even what you're sharing with me, they've been doing it. Yep, they've been doing it. And they still in this world haven't done anything about it. But allow them to master it to the highest. I'm going to show you how he gave me the comfort, y'all. He gave me the comfort because I was on the Father. I was on the Father because I'm trying to understand what would cause a creator to create people that he knew would turn out the way it is today. And if I'm not going to sit here and play with y'all, I ain't got time. Your time is not my time is not yours. I'm on a mission. And my mission does not detach to you. It detached to me and the Father. I'm going to be on this devil platform speaking just like I'm speaking. Even the devil himself would sit in the midst. Because if he could tell all of your devilish people that she's telling all our secrets. But he would stop and say, but all our secret been out there since the beginning of time. And I think that's what made me want to buckle up on the Father. Father, wait a minute. Father. They've been doing this all this time. Deborah, if I say that you're in a day like no other ever hit the earth, you see the level of what they've been doing all this time. Now, do you see the high level of what it is today? That's why it's worse today than any other time ever hit the earth. And it's speaking of what you're feeling. You're feeling that darkness at the level that seems like it can't be brought down. Yes, Father. I'm looking at a level of darkness man's eyes have not seen. Man's spirit has no idea. Their mental state is gone. This darkness you can't see out of the natural eyes. This darkness you can't comprehend because you are loaded with darkness yourself. And you would never be able to graft actually how bad it is. But you will, because it's right before you. And all that time I was telling the Father, I've been telling these people, it's like this, it's like this. You mean all this time, it's what he said, Deborah, it's even higher than you can even speak. And that's what got me this morning. I realized it. No words can come out of my mouth. No messages out of my spirit that can reach the level of how dark on this earth today. So I'm sitting here saying to the Father, but you knew it. You knew it, Father. You created it and you knew it. But you know what? Throughout times, I've been telling y'all, he always had a ram in the bush. So how he summed it up with to give me that comfort, he said, you never really paid any attention to why I was marking mines. He said, you knew that they already been marked in the spirit. You knew that I come to abide in them. But I needed them to be marked with the sign on the outside of them. So this level of darkness that's on this earth won't come near them. Now, I spoke on that a couple of times, that we marked for all the chaos that's in the earth so they won't come and they won't affect us. What I know today, it is a level. See, it is hard. It's so hard to explain the level of darkness because you know in your spirit, like I tell you, you're talking to a brick wall. I battled you all for days. How could someone have something and yet, Father, you gave everybody what you have given them, but they can't see themselves giving nobody nothing that might bless the person at the level of how Yah has blessed them. They won't do it. No one wants to give according to how the spirit of Yah has blessed them. So if that's the case, then that allowed me to realize that too fall under darkness. Yes, a lot of people like to control the giving. They like to have that power and that energy to control it. They won't release it as Yah released to them. They want to release it as crumbs, crumbs given. But he telling me all of this, Deborah, put it in that black pot. You cannot, you will not change the minds of people because they set in a way that their flesh leads them, not their spirit. Because if he is in their spirit, he knows what he's given any and every last one. You see, he don't need crumbs being thrown that does not fit any need of anything. But he's saying to me to put that in that black pot. Put it in that black pot. So when you run around here buckling up at the Father, know that all that is in there. And I'm like, okay, thank you. What he did is he knocked all the bowling balls down with one ball. That's what the Father did. He told me so many things. He knocked all of it down. Guess what he knocked it down with? The level of the minds of the flesh of people on this earth. The level of the mind of the flesh of people on this earth. The pride, the greed, the self-centered, the me, and mine. Yeah, they'll pour out based on their heart. Even when y'all blessed them beyond their own heart, they will still pour out only measuring from their heart. Never being, because he took me even back with Ananias and Sapphira. I think that's Sapphira. He said, you still didn't get it. I said, oh, I got it. They come bringing that toward Peter and them and giving them. No. It was the fact that they had so much darkness in them. They couldn't see fit to come to my throne where they knew Peter and them was serving and be right by it. They took portions, save that portion, we'll keep portion. Notice, neither one came together. That's how cunning they were. Figured it, he said, a man and a woman come together, they become one, right? One in the flesh. So the things that they do in the flesh should be coming in a oneness. Why did Ananias and Sapphira, whatever her name, why did they come into Peter separate? Y'all see, I was sending a statement, Deborah, right there. Both of them had the same mind as Adam and Eve. It don't matter. They were blessed by me. Adam and Eve was given everything. Everything was perfect. They didn't have to labor. They didn't have to work. They didn't have to plant. They didn't have to do anything. They had everything. But why did they mindset as a unity, him and her, was wicked and evil? Greed, self-centered, self-motivated, me, mine. We want all knowledge of good and evil. See, that's what people don't understand. Y'all not a part of that. Because he's a part of when, if he gave Ananias and Sapphira to be blessed, whatever they sold, why couldn't they come to Peter as a oneness? When they married, they came separate. It's showing you the cunning in them. See, this is the cunning, but it was the same cunning in the man that it was in the woman. The plot was made before they came to Peter. The plot was already in their spirit, rooted. He's trying to show Sister Deborah, stop coming to me with all these questions. Just go to darkness and you'll find out where everybody at. And I'm like, Father, then where must I go from here? Where must I go from here? This darkness is this deep. And he keep reminding me. I put a seal on my eyes. I put a seal on my eyes. So you're going to see these things. You're going to know these things. You're going to know everything you say you know about people. You know it. You're going to know it. From one end of the earth to the next. You're going to know it. Everything you see, everything you be thinking, everything you, and that's, my son, Christ, a couple of days when his father went into the hospital, him and his wife came, and she said, Miss Deborah, my back is hurting, and I don't even know why. She's pregnant. I don't even know why. She said, it's in my back. I said, oh, that's the baby pressing up against either that spine or somewhere along there, and it's the size of the baby is growing, and it's pressing up. I said, it's your back, right? She said, yeah, it's my back. But guess what she turned around and said to me, y'all? She said, I think it's a muscle. It's in my muscle. No, baby, you went reading all that AI. See, that's what's wrong with y'all. Y'all sick. Y'all sicker than sick. You reading all that AI mess and getting on this internet trying to figure out who can you click with to make somebody a lie. You can't click with nobody to make somebody lie, because a lie is in you. It's going to die with you. It's going to live in you. It's going to be who you are. It's no need in getting together and trying to plot and trying to make somebody negative and bad, because this sister, let me tell you something. I got something to say. And everything I say is 100. Okay? So this young girl, she could tell me always a muscle in my back. I think it's my muscle in my back. I think it feels like it's my muscle. Couldn't tell her nothing. 2 days later, my son come text me. She said she went to the doctor, and the doctor told her it's the baby. Didn't I try to tell her that? Why would I have all these kids just for you to be able to know something and I don't? What's in your back is a muscle. He told her it ain't no muscle, but it don't want to listen. I don't have no problem with that. After this morning, when I buckled up against the Father, and he was telling me, Deborah, it's that much darkness out there. When you say left, they're gonna say right. When you say up, they're gonna say down. They got the darkness has its own mind, y'all. So you can get your tail on this devil platform, just as I said a while back. They get on here and they be on here listening and listening. That's a dark mind in the midst, trying to get at the table with the 12 tribes. I mean, not the 12, with the 11 disciples. Judas just want to be at the table. All they want to be at the table. That's all they want to be at the table. But darker than dark. Judas, the betrayer, he was at that table all the time, all the way to the very end. He was at that table. And that's what he's saying. So when you're talking about people being there and brick walls and people being there looking and listening, from now on, don't deal with them at all. Cut them totally off, because it's what you think. If you think it, it is, because I'm giving you the spirit of discernment. So what people didn't know was this. The spirit of discern the spirit of who you are. So I don't have to be in the midst of your flesh. Your flesh don't have to be in the midst of me. It's a spiritual gift, ability to know the spirits that comes in the midst. Even they can be way over in Russia. It don't matter. It's the spirit of discerning. To discern what spirit is what spirit. This is the sort of stuff he keeps schooling me on. And only one thing is the hurting part. Why is it I just don't take my Father at 100 times 100 times 1 trillion at what he keep telling me? It reminds me of my mother. She said, why do you don't listen to him when he's talking to you? My mother used to tell me that as a teenager, even as a young adult. He be talking, why you don't listen to she called him God. God, when he's telling you, didn't he tell you? Did you say he said don't do? And that's stubborn. But guess what? It didn't keep him from choosing me to lay in his bosom. I give him all glory and all honor and all praise. I do. Because when that ex-husband spoke to me about that cloud, I thought about it and I said, oh man, I need to back things up and laying things down. I need to be strictly about that light and knowing how to enter into that light, sit down, rest in it, sleep in it, eat in it, stay in the light. Don't play with these people on these devil platforms, especially YouTube and Facebook. Don't play with them. Don't play with them. Because the level of what I found out this morning, realize that you can't warn them. There's no warning in them. It's nothing in them that take heed to the warning. Don't let somebody think they know it, think they got it, think they can tell you. Don't. Greater is me in you than them on the outside trying to tell you. Now, Deborah, what is in you is your greatest friend. It's not what's on the outside of you. What is in you is your greater subscriber, not what's on YouTube. What is in you is your greatest light, not the one on the YouTube. Everything I have to focus that he is, not nothing on this YouTube, nothing. Because the more and more I wake up in the last 7 days. I'm learning something as if, I never knew nothing. So I'm buckling up to the Father this morning because I'm upset. I was upset because um, they went and they found information and they said that way back in 2000, the people that brought that same information up was murdered and they gone and never be seen again. And nobody never said anything. And this is the same thing that I've been hearing, and I kind of put it into some of my videos. But what I realized, y'all ain't gonna stop it. So y'all gonna play with yourself. Take y'all tails out there and play with yourself, because that's what time it is. Go on, do what they did in the days of Noah. Every imagination and thought in your flesh was wicked and evil. Now just imagine if today worse than that, then where do you think people are at? And the Father is saying to me, I sealed mine, Deborah. That's why they won't teach it and preach it in the order, in the way that I've sealed it. You know it was sealed. You didn't know the capacity of why. Yes, I knew that it was sealed to keep the earthquakes and stuff like that for after, but he said, no, darkness is so heavy on the earth, Deborah, that I had, not that I wanted to make sure what remnant I had, that they were sealed. So y'all walk your tails around here with that evil heart, that greed, that envy, that self-centered, and that level of pride, and that level of selfishness and jealousy, if you want to. Nobody don't answer to you. You ain't nobody. You ain't figured it out yet. Because somewhere you think you know a few words, you think that just make you all that and some. But you know what he told me? Let him go. Let him go. I said, you know why? I said, Father, you know why he was telling me to let him go? I said, I got to let go. I was telling him, because if this darkness is as dark as it is, and they were eating people then and doing all this stuff then, you mean to tell me? And he instant remind me of one time it said it's going to be worse than any time that existed on the face of the earth. That's why they at the level of evil, and it ain't no stopping. So get ready, get ready, get ready. You're going to hear it all. It's going to all be all out. Do I know the day, the hour, the minute, the second? No, I don't, and I don't care to. But I tell you one thing I know. I'm going to get in the right place. And the reason why I believe the Father always would minister to me, because I wanted to know him. How I can please him. How I can think the right way on this earth that pleases him. I've always wanted to know the things that are righteous, the things that are just. But at this level of where things are at, it comes with a price. It's a price to it. Patience that rests in endurance and its long suffering. And if it had not been for him greater in me, I would not be here today, because it's heavier than the flesh could even see, comprehend, live, make it. The flesh can't do it. So what he's showing me is people leaving everything into their control. They want control over any and everything in every way that's possible. There's a light that has to shine. You have to separate what is light and what is not. Because it can appear to be light. It can appear to be light. But he's given me the ability to see behind it. And that's where my turmoil comes. My turmoil comes when I'm able to look at it and then try to figure it out behind it. That's where I said, but it got to be something behind this, because it's not a good feel. Okay, it's when that good feeling don't come with good things, then therefore you know that it was more to it than beats the eye or beats what you think should have or would have been. Okay, so Sister Deborah, is going to get out of here because I got everything to do, and I'm asking the Father to give me the strength. I started having the drilling headaches, which was labeled as they call grandma migraines. And I had experienced it a couple of times in the last few days. And I said, "Oh no, Father," and the Father wiped it straight out. But and another thing, I don't feel like the feelings that's upon me. It's like death is somewhere. I can't pinpoint where it is at. I can't pinpoint where it is at, but I know it's somewhere in the midst. I just don't know where it's at. It's somewhere, and I can feel it. I can feel it. Sister Deborah is going to get off of here because, like I said, I would have explained it to you all what brought me to that level of understanding the darkness and caused me to buckle up against the Father. Because all things that comes to me like that, I go straight to the Father. And when I came to Him, it's because I knew that at this level that darkness is at, Father, y'all. If this level that darkness is at, you knew it, you knew it, you knew it. He knew it. And if He knew the darkness and where it's at, He suffered me to get it and get it and get it. Y'all lost. I'm out. Y'all lost.